Why in the world would anybody do that dumb gluten-free thing, or dairy-free, or like soy-free? Oh gosh. No, I'm not having sugar. Sugar is the devil. Why do people do these things? It's so trendy. It's such like a follower thing. I mean, it's not even bad for you. Gluten isn't even bad for you, and neither is dairy. It comes from a cow, and that's a real animal, and that's awesome. Well, guess what? I'm Ash Brockinton with the Busy Girl Society, and I'm gonna tell you why this busy girl has chosen not to eat gluten for 15 years in a row. No cheats. And I also don't eat dairy, soy, or refined sugar. And I'm about to tell you why. Maybe this is for you, and maybe you just wanna lump me in that like trend person, like following the flow. But here's what I can tell you. I did not become gluten-free or anything else free because it's fun, or because it's trendy, or because anybody else is doing it. I did it, guys, because I started to get really, really sick. When I was in college, I was a sophomore in college. I was a junior in college. I started to get very, very sick. I mean, every time I ate, I just wanted to take a nap. I would be in my media communications classes after lunch. I think it was a 1 or 2 o'clock class. And my professor, I'd be in the front like a good student. He would say, Ashley, just go to your room, just go lay down. Because he could tell I was so sick and so miserable. It was awful. I had so many tests done. They ran tests. I had endoscopy, I had a colonoscopy, I had tests to like check my gallbladder, my intestines, everything. I went to the University of Kentucky, I went to the University of Vanderbilt, the doctors there. I had a doctor tell me, insinuate, because I was, probably around 18, 19, 20, I don't know, around there at the time, insinuate that I was bulimic and maybe just didn't know it. Or maybe that I was pregnant and maybe just didn't know it. And I'm thinking, do you think I would have driven all this way if I was sticking my finger down my throat or if I was pregnant? No, sir. And he just dismissed it. They wanted to take my gallbladder out, and I said no. They put me on Prevacid, anti-acid medicines, like strong. It's like $75 a pill. Didn't do a thing. So this is how I found out it was gluten-free. My mama said, hey Ashley, someone at church told me that there's this thing called gluten and that they have some students in their class that have been on a gluten-free diet and are seeing a lot of improvement. And I was like, that's dumb. I love bread. No. But finally, she got me to try it. So I went gluten-free. And here's the deal, guys. It didn't take a week to feel better. It took about 6 weeks to feel a little bit better. It took about 6 months to feel considerably better. And it's every single year that I feel better and better and my health improves more and more. So if you think you might be intolerant to gluten or to dairy or anything else like that, it's not a quick fix. Your body needs deep healing. So this is why I eat gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and refined sugar-free. It causes so much inflammation in my body. So much inflammation. So from an aesthetic point of view, my body gets really puffy, like fluff, bloated, horribly bloated. I don't like how that looks. I don't like how that feels. I hate how that feels. From a health point of view, when your body is inflamed, it's like your immune system goes down. It can't carry out its other functions because it's so focused on lowering that inflammation. Your body's like attacking itself. So gluten is this protein that's found in wheat and rye and spelt. A lot of times it's cross-contaminated with oats, malt, barley. And it's like, if you imagine if you were eating a walnut, okay, and you crunched and you ate the shell, okay, the meat inside is fine, but the shell is like what the gluten would be, and so it just goes in and it tears up your gut, just tears it up. And for those with celiacs, which I have, it also not only like tears up your gut, it kills the cilia in your intestines, and so that's what is absorbing nutrients. So then people with celiacs become very nutrient deficient, especially vitamin B and other types of vitamins and nutrients. And so then your whole health goes down. and it's just not cool. So I don't even understand why so many people walk around feeling lethargic after they eat, depressed, anxious, sick, bloated, when they could just make some very small changes to their diet. Dairy has the same effect with the inflammation. A lot of times I get, just so you can kind of know what some signs are to look for, I would say feeling lethargic is the first one. If you got like itchy in your throat, that could be something. Itchy on your skin, that would be more of an allergic reaction. I never got that. I got more like kind of like a bad, uncomfortable feeling up here. I got really, really tired, just like nothing else matters. You can get foggy, very tired, stomach pains, nausea, diarrhea, inconsistent bowels. Irritable bowel syndrome is basically like you've got crazy stuff going on, and it could be caused by anything. With dairy, I get sores inside of my mouth. So there's all types of symptoms, and I would say if you're having any type of reaction at all to foods, you should probably try something, an elimination diet. So I would suggest maybe Whole30. I've never done Whole30, but I've done my own elimination diets just through wanting to figure out what's wrong. Like, okay, I think I might be having a problem with dairy. Let me cut it out. Wow, I feel much more amazing. Let me just cut it out for good. Soy, I found out the hard way. I ate like 5 boxes of these things called Soy Joy because they were gluten-free and I thought they were the best. And I got so extremely bloated. It's like just feeling all those gas bubbles stuck inside me. Huge belly, miserable. Now I know, man, if I have something sneaky with soy in it, it's like boom. So you need to learn your body and you need to learn how it reacts to things. So I would suggest doing the Whole30, or what I do for kind of like my body healing and elimination process is I do something called the Ultimate Reset, and it's 3 weeks, and it basically just slowly removes those different trigger foods, gluten and dairies and refined sugars from your diet. It does have some fermented soy. So when I did it, even though a lot of people fermented soy is great for them, when I did it because I know soy is a trigger food for me, I removed it. Other trigger foods for people can be nightshades, like peppers. People can have a lot of issues with tomatoes. I have some issues with tomatoes. Even fruits can cause you huge bloating and a lot of irritation. So the point is to learn your body. And also, I just want you to know, as long as you are part of any of my Busy Girl Health and Fitness challenges, part of any of my free Busy Girl You challenges, all of the meals and recipes I'm ever going to give you are going to be gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and refined sugar-free. So with sweeteners, I always am going to use pure honey, like raw honey, pure maple syrup, or stevia, like a raw stevia. And I usually do stevia for myself just because I also battle with candida, which is a whole nother ball game. But I just wanted to share, this is why I share my recipes that are always gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and refined sugar-free. It's honestly selfish for my personal health. I'm not gonna put a recipe out there if I wouldn't eat it and I don't feel 100% like this is good for you, healing to your body, and full of nutrients. I'm all about figuring out how to make healthy food taste like cheap food, but I'm not all about like using unclean products and things that are gonna, make your health go out of whack in order to do that. I'm not gonna do that. So I hope this has helped. If you ever have any questions about living a gluten-free or dairy-free or soy-free or refined sugar-free lifestyle, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can follow my blog at busygirlsociety.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/losing it with Sam and Ash. And on Instagram, Busy Girl Society. Again, all of my challenges that I do, all of my coaching that I offer, everything is always going to be free of those allergens. The Shakeology that I drink every single day is free of all those allergens, gluten, dairy, soy, and refined sugar. So for me, that's been like the best, the portion fix system that I offer to all of my challengers. There is optional dairy on there, but I omit the dairy, and so I can very easily show my challengers that want to live, practice this type of eating, how to omit the dairy. It's not hard. You just don't choose anything from the, that's dairy on the list. But here I am to help. I hope this helped you. I would love if you would give me some feedback on your experience with removing some trigger foods, some common intolerant foods. And also, one last thing is If you try to remove some foods from your diet and you're not seeing immediate results, or if you see some adverse effects from doing that, there is something called a healing reaction, that when you're on the road to healing, sometimes you first feel a detox that's going on and it feels miserable. So you have to hang on for, really, I would say 12 weeks is a really good testing period to see if something's working for you. All right.